friends, it's Lisa, and welcome to my first vlog for the Magical Readathon Spring Equinox. I'm so excited. I love this readathon. It's like one of the few readathons I still participate in, just because I'm still like burnt out on the amount of readathons that I did in like 2020 and 2021. I feel like I did a lot that year too. It's just, there was a lot and they're so fun, but I just got a bit burnt out. But this is the one that I consistently do every year. It's so much fun, so creative. G is the creator of this readathon. I'll have her channel linked below so you can go and check her out and check out all of the information for this readathon if you want to participate. But basically, you pick a calling or a career to study at the Aurelium Academy, and you have certain classes that you have to take, aka certain prompts that you have to complete in order to be successful in learning this calling. So my career this year is the Star Whisperer career, and I just think that that's the coolest name. It's the coolest thing. I had to do it when I saw that she added that as a calling this year. I just thought it was so cool. So that's what I'm doing, and in my TBR, which I will have linked, is it this side? I think it's this side. It'll be linked above and also in the description, wherever that is, for you to go and check out if you want to see what I'm planning to read for this readathon and just like my spring TBR in general. But in that video, I kept talking about how I had 4 prompts to complete. I actually have 5. Someone commented and being like, you silly goose, there's actually a 5th prompt for the Star Whisperer career. And thank you so much to that person that commented, because I literally would not have ever seen it. I don't know how I missed it, because I looked at the calling information, the Star Whisperer career stuff, so many times and never saw it. So I don't know how that happened. I think that happened to me last year too. I don't know which, if it was the spring equinox or the autumn equinox, but I feel like I didn't notice that there was a certain prompt in class that I had to complete until I printed out the calling information to put in my reading journal and went, oh, I completely missed that. So I don't know why I can never read the classes that I have to take. I don't know what is wrong with me, but there's 5 things that I have to do, which is pretty manageable, pretty easy. I think I'll be able to do that, but I figured I would just very quickly go over the 5th prompt and what I'm planning to read for, because I didn't in that TBR. The class is for psionics and divination, I think is how it said, and what the class is called, but the prompt is to read a book with clouds in the title or on the cover. And in my TBR, I was talking about how I just in general this spring wanted to read The Right Move by Liz Tomford, and there are clouds on the cover. So I think that's going to be what I read for that prompt for the readathon. It is the 3rd of April right now. So the readathon did start on April 1st. It's a month-long readathon all of April, and I have yet to start anything from my TBR. So I think today I'm going to start the first book on my TBR. Consider choosing The Right Move, but I think instead, I need to grab the book. I think the first book that I'm going to pick up for the readathon is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I don't remember what class this is going to be for. I need to grab my phone. Okay, so this is for the inscription class, and that is to read a book from your top highest shelf. That's correct. So this came off of the very top of my bookshelf, even though it should have been on my TBR shelf. I just completely missed it. But yeah, this is going to be what I read for that prompt. I think this is going to be what I pick up first, just because I know myself, and with month-long readathons, I tend to change my TBR. I tend to switch it up, and I don't want to give myself the opportunity to change my TBR and not pick this up, because I've been wanting to read this for years. It has been on so many TBRs and I've yet to read it. So I think this is going to be what I pick up first, and I'm very excited to finally read this. I think I'm going to get the audiobook and listen along while I physically read, because I've heard really great things about the audiobook. So very excited. I think this is going to be the first thing I pick up. And yeah, we'll just see where the month takes us, what I end up reading when I inevitably change my TBR, because I'm already considering some changes. So that's not great. We're on day 3. So yeah, excited to get started on my Magical Readathon TBR. If you're participating in the readathon, I'd love to know what you picked up first, or what you're currently reading for the readathon, and what prompt and class you're completing. Just let me know all the things, because I just think this readathon is so fun, as I've said many times, and I love how many people participate. So definitely let me know if you're participating, what you're reading. But yeah, welcome to a new reading vlog. So excited to document the week. Don't know what I'm going to be getting up to. I know Easter is this weekend, so there will be Easter celebrations, but yeah, we'll just see what happens this week, and I'm excited to take you along on my reading journey for the Magical Readathon. Well, exciting news. The long-awaited package from Darien is here. It said it was delivered sometime last week, and it literally didn't show up in my mailbox until today. So I don't know what happened, but I have it. Also, why is this box so big? That's confusing and concerning. This isn't a book, and I know what I had on my wish list that would be this size. Unless it is a book. But what book would be square? I think I know what it is. I am gonna cry. I've been saying since this album came out that this on vinyl is how God intended. Why am I shaking? Thank you, Darian. Oh my god, I was not expecting this until I saw the shape of the box. Well, I know what I'm doing later. Yellow. The vinyl's yellow. We're opening it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are y'all seeing this? It's yellow. This is so cool. Thank you, Darian. I'm gonna actually cry for real. Is this a poster? There's not a single thought happening in my brain. I'm gonna cry. Thank you, Darian. I need to text her and yell at her right now. Alright, so I've started on The Come Up, which is the first book that I'm reading for the Magical Readathon, and it's going well so far. I'm on chapter 13, which is page 174. I did end up getting the audiobook as well, just so that I could actually hear the raps when they're like happening instead of me just trying to like read them, because it's not going to sound the same in my head. So this book, you're following Bree, who wants to become a rapper. That's like her dream. Her father was actually a very like well-known popular rapper himself, but he was killed when she was younger, and now she's kind of wanting to follow in his footsteps and become this like successful rapper. That's her dream. And the whole kind of premise of this book is that she ends up writing this song, she records this song, and then it goes viral. But where I'm at in the book, that actually hasn't really happened yet. She has recorded the song, she has the song, it just hasn't gone viral yet, which I know it seems probably late into the book for the plot to not even really be happening, but I feel like all of Angie Thomas's books are very much focused on the characters, very character-driven novels, so I kind of knew going into it that it was probably going to be that way, and I don't mind it. I love Angie Thomas and her writing and her characters and everything. I don't know how she does it, but whenever I pick up one of her books, like within chapter 1, I feel like I've just slipped into the story. I know the characters. I feel like I have known them forever. It just feels like so easy to get into her stories and into her books. And like I was saying, she does write really like character driven books, but I think she does that so well. She's able to create characters that feel really real. You're able to kind of connect with them and just feel like you really know them. So that's so important when it comes to character driven novels. That's why it works. So I am excited to see like where the rest of the book goes, especially once this song goes viral, because I really don't know much of the premise of this book beyond that. Like I don't really know what happens after that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. I feel like I could maybe even finish it today. I know I have like a good amount of the book left, like over half the book left, but it is like so easy to read, like I was saying. And I think that's something else to be said about Angie Thomas's writing, is that they're not super plot driven books. It's very much about the characters, but yet I still like have a hard time putting them down once I'm reading them. Like it's so easy to just like, oh, I'll just read one more chapter and just keep reading, even though there's not like a huge plot. I don't know how she does it. She's just such a talented writer, and I think I'm gonna just read anything that Angie Thomas writes at this point. So yeah, I'm happy that I finally am picking this up after years of wanting to read it, and I'm liking it, so I'm excited to keep going. Like I said, would love to finish it today, but we'll see. But yeah, that's it for what I'm currently reading. I may start something else today, whether I finish on the come up or not. I have another book that's on my TBR for the month, not for the Magical Readathon, and I can't decide if I want to listen to it on audio or physically read it. But either way, I might start that today. And actually, I'm thinking I might make it a part of my Magical Readathon TBR because I didn't have a book picked out for the Art of Illusion prompt. That is to read a book with a cover that matches your clothes, like your outfit. But I just realized the sweatshirt and the shirt I'm wearing under my sweatshirt kind of matches the cover of one of the books I was planning to read for this reading vlog. So I'm like, should I start it today while I'm wearing this outfit? You know? The book is Cold Hearted Rake by Lisa Kleypas. You know, I've seen this name for so many years and I still don't know how to say her last name. I'm gonna have to look that up and confirm, but what a great first name, am I right? But I'm looking at the cover online. It has like the pink dress on the girl and it's like very tealy blue colors. And I mean, I feel like this sweatshirt kind of matches the background, but also I don't really want to take my sweatshirt off because it's cold, but the t-shirt I'm wearing underneath is like teal and pink. So I feel like it matches the cover. So I feel like I might start that today just so I can count it for this prompt. So that actually kind of worked out. Like I realized while I was sitting here chatting with you all that kind of worked out because I was trying to figure out what to do for that prompt. I was like, do I be strategic and wear something specifically to match a book that I have on my TBR for the month that isn't for the Magical Readathon? But like it just kind of happened. So that seems like a sign. All right, I think that's it for the reading updates. I'm gonna cut myself off because I feel like I haven't rambled on and on and on and on and on in this update for once. So, you're welcome. I have finished my first read for the Magical Readathon. Everybody cheered. But yeah, I did finish On the Come Up by Angie Thomas yesterday, and I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I just love Angie Thomas's writing, like I was saying yesterday. I love the way she writes these characters. I love how invested I get in her stories almost immediately once I start them. I also love the way she writes family and friendships and just like the different dynamics between these characters. I just absolutely love pretty much everything about all of her books that I've read. I did give this 4.5 stars though, not quite a 5, but very close, just because I feel like the pacing was a little bit off for me with this. I think like I was saying yesterday that it took quite a while to get into the song going viral, which was kind of like the main plot of this book and where a lot of the issues that happened in this book kind of took off from. So the song going viral didn't happen, I feel like, until part 2, and part 2 doesn't start until page 187. So it does take a bit of the book to kind of get into that, and then I feel like the ending feels like it was resolved a little bit too quickly for me, especially when it came to Bree's character. I really liked her character and I liked that she constantly stood up for herself, and I think her frustration in this situation was so valid because this song going viral kind of starts all of these controversies, and a lot of her words and like the meaning of the song and her like inspiration for it and what she was trying to say, and also just like videos of her and things that have happened, it all gets taken out of context and twisted to fit a certain narrative that makes her look bad, and that's not at all like what she was trying to do. And it's a very frustrating situation, and she's constantly put into situations where people are questioning her and people are attacking her and her song. I can understand her frustration 100%, and there were a lot of times where I was like, she's making a decision that may not be great, but I understand why she's doing it and I understand why she's so frustrated, so I support her. But there were a lot of decisions, especially when it came to her trying to pursue this rap career. Not only is this her dream, but she also, her family is not in in the best like financial situation at the moment. Her mom has lost her job, and so Bree knows that like if she makes this rap career work, that she could help provide for her family and get them out of that situation. So I feel like she makes a lot of decisions in regards to her rap career that maybe aren't the best decisions, just because she is desperately trying to help her family and pursue this dream. And I feel like there were a lot of characters in this book, a lot of people that surrounded her mom, her brother, her aunt, her friends, who were telling her like, you might not want to do that, or trying to advise her to do something instead. And she just continued to not listen to them. And I totally understand her not listening in a lot of these situations and why she wasn't listening and why she was doing the things that she was doing. But it just kind of kept putting her in these really tough situations and these really hard situations because she wasn't listening to anybody. And I feel like I wish we just had a little bit more time at the end for her to like reflect on those things, reflect on those decisions, and kind of realize what she could have done differently, or just like why she made those decisions. I don't know. I just feel like there could have been more with her character arc there, but I still really like Bree's character. I still support a lot of her decisions. On top of it, like, not only is she in this very difficult situation, but she's also a teenager. So like, I totally understand why she was doing what she was doing and why she wasn't listening to people, because she's 16. I didn't want to listen to anyone at 16 years old either. But that's why I only took like a half star off, because I totally understand why she was making the decisions she was making and why she was acting that way. It just got a little frustrating to read at some points. I just wish that we had had a bit more like of a moment to reflect on those decisions, have her reflect on that at the end of the book, instead of it feeling like a bit rushed, I guess. So yeah, I still really loved it. 4.5 stars. Really, really happy that I finally read it after years of wanting to read this. And this was my first book done for the readathon. I think, was this the inscription class? The one that's the book on the highest shelf? So 1 of 5 classes complete for the Star Whisperer career. So happy about that as well. And then I did start Cold-Hearted Rake last night as well, by Lisa Kleypas. I still don't know how to say her last name. I tried to look up pronunciations and I saw a few different ways. So if you know, please let me know the correct way of saying it. But I did start this, and this is a historical romance. You're following Devin, who has just recently, his cousin has just recently passed. Now he has inherited a lot of his cousin's belongings and estates and all of these lands. And Devin is kind of frustrated because he didn't really want all of these responsibilities, and the estate he inherited is in a lot of debt. And also at this estate, the cousin, his wife, who is now a widow, Kathleen, and his sisters are still living at the estate. So now he's having to juggle all of these new responsibilities as well as the people that are living in his house. So I think it's going to be a romance between Kathleen, the widow, and him. And I will say, after chapter 1, Devin, not a great guy. He's just not, the most respectful person. And he's also complaining about inheriting all these things. It's like, oh, how tragic for you, But we'll see. Obviously, it's literally chapter 1, and I think Devin is supposed to be that type of like arrogant, frustrating character at the beginning. So I'm sure, hopefully, that these characters evolve and change throughout the book. But yeah, I'm excited to keep going with this. I don't know how I'm going to end up feeling about it. I did see some mixed reviews on Goodreads from people I'm friends with, and just like in general, some other reviews I saw. I think this is a book that she published after like a handful of years of taking a break from publishing books. So I think this was kind of a bit of a comeback for her. So I'm interested to see how I feel about it. I think for that reason, there were some mixed reviews, and I don't know if this was like the best place to start with Lisa Kleypas books, but it's where I started, so we'll see. But I am reading this for a themed vlog, so I'm gonna probably not share too many of my thoughts on this book in these Magical Readathon vlogs, but because it is on my TBR for the Magical Readathon as well, I thought I could give some initial thoughts. So far, I don't really have a lot of thoughts. No thoughts. Head empty. Devin's just annoying. That's it for now. A vehicle is coming down our driveway. Is that a sign for me to go? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a sign for me to go. But 1 book down for the Magical Readathon, 1 prompt done, 4 more to go. Very excited to keep reading. Oh, hello friends. Happy Friday. So I just want to pop on, give a quick little update. I am now, I think, 30-something% of the way through Cold-Hearted Rake. I'm 39% of the way through. So I've made a decent amount of progress. I definitely think I'll be able to finish it this weekend. Even though like Easter and those festivities will be happening this weekend, I think I'll be able to finish it. I don't want to share too much of my thoughts because it is for a vlog, but I will say it is reading very quickly, which is why I think I will be able to finish it before the end of the weekend and before this vlog ends. And then that will be another book done for the Magical Readathon. So all good things. But yeah, like I said, it is Easter this weekend. I think tomorrow on Saturday is when me and my family are doing our like festivities and getting together and doing that. I think we're gonna have an adult egg hunt, which will be really fun. We did that last year and it was fun. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be chaos because it's my family, of course it will. But I think on Sunday, the actual holiday, I don't think we're doing anything. I don't know if we have any plans, so hopefully I'll be able to do a lot of reading then. But yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty chill and fun weekend. And also, I'm so sorry that this vlog I feel like has been very like low energy and just not the most exciting. I have my period right now, and it's been a rough one. The past like few days especially, I have been feeling like hot garbage, both like physically and mentally, just not doing great. I will say, other than like the headache that I've had for the past like 3 days, other than that, I am feeling better today. So hopefully this weekend will be fine. But yeah, I just feel like because of that, I haven't been in like the biggest vlogging mood. I haven't been really wanting to vlog a lot and film a lot of B-roll because I've literally just been like suffering and like in pain the past few days. But it's fine now. We're doing great. Having a period is so much fun. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of an update before the weekend begins. Also, I'll show you Sam because he's sleeping like a little angel in the corner of the couch. What a baby. But yeah, I think that's it for this update. Like I said, hopefully I can do a lot of reading this weekend. I also probably will do a good amount of reading tonight as well. So hopefully I can get a little bit farther in and then finish up Cold Hearted Rake by the end of this vlog. Week 1 of the Magical Readathon has come to a close, so I just wanted to update you all on what I read for the readathon so far, what I have managed to complete. Also, this weekend was Easter weekend. We did Easter festivities on Saturday, which were really fun with my family. It was just a really nice day, and then yesterday on the actual holiday, I didn't really do a whole lot. Me and my family just kind of chilled and hung around, and I did manage to finish what I was currently reading, so let's quickly go over what I did read. I also did make a TBR spread for the readathon. Right now, we have 2 printers in this house, and both are struggling to function properly. Both are having like ink issues, so I only managed to print like the thing for the Magical Readathon, which like worked out well because I did want to make a spread to like complete and fill out for the readathon throughout the month, but my April spreads have yet to be made, so it's fine. I'll hopefully be able to get one of our printers to work properly because I like to print out pictures for my reading journal, but I did make a spread for the Magical Readathon and pretty happy with how it came out. Pretty simple, but I did finish 2 prompts this week. So I did finish On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This is for the inscription class, which was to read a book from your highest shelf, and I gave this 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Very happy that I finally read this book, got it off of my TBR, and also really enjoyed it. That's the worst, when you're really excited about a book and you put it off for years and then you don't end up liking it. So I'm glad that after all this time I did end up enjoying it. And then for the Art of Illusion class, I did finish Cold Hearted Rake by Lisa Kleypas. I picked this because it matched my striped shirt that I was wearing the other day, and I did finish this. I am going to keep my rating and my thoughts on that book to myself for now, just because I am reading that for a specific reading vlog that should be going up in a few weeks. So I did read that though and finished it and counted it for a prompt for the readathon. So I'm now done 2 prompts for the readathon. I have 3 left to go. I think I will be able to do that in 3 weeks. So yeah, the Magical Readathon so far is very successful, very fun, as always. I just love this readathon, which I know I say all the time, but it's just so much fun, and I'm excited to keep reading books off of my TBR for it. I also know that she did start the quest thing, where there's like, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure, like you have to make a choice, and then depending on that choice, you have to read a book for it, and I think she said that, like, you can read it all, like you can do that all year long, like you don't have to just do that in April, so I may start that this month as well. I may try and do that, I don't know. But as far as the Star Whisperer calling, the calling that I chose, I have done 2 prompts, 3 more to go. So I think I'm in good shape, excited to keep going, keep vlogging and all of that. Definitely make sure you stick around if you want to see all of my weekly vlogs for the readathon. But that's going to be it for week 1 of the Magical Readathon. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.